In this video, we're going to take a look at the Marvel-themed virtual pinball machine by Arcade1UP. This is Steve from Restalgia, and let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for clicking on the video and consider subscribing for more content. Today we get to take a look at the last of the 3 Arcade1UP pinball machines that have been released. This is the Marvel-themed pinball machine, which, like the other Arcade1UP pinball machines, includes 10 games from Zen Studios' pinball lineup. If you're interested in a teardown review of the Star Wars machine or my thoughts on the Attack from Mars machine, I will leave direct links in the description down below. Now, if you've seen my other reviews on these machines, it should come as no surprise that I have not and do not try to sugarcoat these machines. They all have their flaws, mind you, some more than others. And I'm really just going to talk about these machines as a whole, and about the little things that I've noticed that are both consistent and inconsistent when comparing to the sister unit. Now let's start off by looking at the overall appearance of the machine. The cabinet shape is actually really good, and in terms of the form factor, it really does resemble a smaller version of a standard pinball machine. The back box has that Arcade1UP flair, but overall the machine looks really solid. The artwork here is probably my favorite out of any of the pinball machines that they have released to date. On the left hand side of the body, we have very crisp and clear modern art style of our favorite Avengers heroes. You have everyone you would expect, including the likes of Captain America, Spider-Man, and Iron Man. They include Captain Marvel, which also makes sense since the female hero table A-Force is also included, but not super sure about their choice to put Black Panther on here. Now yes, technically he is included in one of the tables, but both Venom and Ghost Rider have their own tables, but they're noticeably absent from the artwork on the machine altogether. On the left hand side of the back box, we have the Fantastic Four displayed here with the Zen and Marvel branding, and on the right side of the machine we have Iron Man and Thor together, coupled again with the Marvel branding, but this time we also have the Arcade1UP logo. The right side of the body is actually my favorite part of the machine aesthetically, with key members of the X-Men, including my favorite mutant Gambit. Now I get it, he may not be your favorite, but that's totally okay. I don't expect everyone else to be right all the time. Now funny enough, I don't actually think Gambit is in any of the included tables either, but don't quote me on this, I may have just missed him. Now shifting over to the back glass, we have some really well designed and visually impressive art here, with everyone's favorite friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, with Captain America and Wolverine rounding out the sides. Overall, everything looks really nice here. My only real gripe is with the front panel where the coin door goes. It's just plain black with some logos. I mean, it's totally fine, it doesn't look bad, but there really isn't any reason why they couldn't have just dropped all the logos from here and continued with the galaxy background artwork that they used everywhere else. Both Attack from Mars and Star Wars had something going on here, so I am genuinely curious to know the reason why this machine would be any different. Shifting to the structure, the cabinet feels very well built, and I will stand behind the opinion that these machines are probably the highest quality products to ever be released by Arcade1UP. The chrome legs and rails really look awesome in combination with the artwork. Overall, this machine looks really impressive to say the least. Now for some, the looks may be the most important thing, but to others, including myself, the gameplay needs to match the aesthetic for a full experience to be a hit. Now we know there are issues with these machines, which I will talk about shortly. However, I can honestly say of all the 3 Arcade1UP machines released, I found myself enjoying the game lineup on this one specifically the most. Unlike Attack from Mars, all 10 games actually work, and they work well. There is a virtually no flipper lag, the physics feel great, the ball rotation looks awesome, and the machine feels like it is truly running at 60 frames per second. That said, we still have relatively poor visual assets, and most on-screen text is unreadable. Being unfamiliar with these tables, it did take away from the experience, which was disappointing. That being said, this is not isolated to this machine. Poor visual resolution is present on all of the Arcade1UP pinball machines, so I did know exactly what I was getting into considering I've reviewed both of the other products. Screen resolution aside, there was also another really strange thing that I noticed about the Marvel pinball machine that was actually very different than the Star Wars or the Attack from Mars machine. For For whatever reason, there is absolutely no dead spot on the plunger, and it was completely calibrated correctly and functions to near 100% accuracy. Now this is really awesome, but it's also a big head scratcher as to why it was done correctly on this machine, but not on any of the other two machines. This doesn't at all negatively impact gameplay on any of the machines, but it's still really confusing that it works here, but not on any of the other ones. High score settings are also much more reasonable on this machine, and I was very easily able to take the top spot on most of the tables. This is actually really good because it does open the door for less experienced players or even children to participate and also be able to experience the feeling of breaking a high score and entering some initials. Now I feel like this is a key piece for families, and I'm glad to see that it was correctly implemented on this machine. Now haptics again sound really good, just like they did across all of the devices. The solenoids are responsive and there is virtually no delay whatsoever. Now as with the other machines, you can't feel them like at all, but I did release a quick video and a free easy mod that you can do to drastically improve that experience, so I'll leave a link to that below in the description as well. If you own a machine, you want to do that mod, I promise you. Now for the nudge support. Now I'm going to sound like a broken record, but man, is nudge completely broken on these devices. I will say that nudge does feel a little less broken on this machine than the other two, but it's certainly not a good experience. Nudge is a bit more responsive here, but it is still completely out of whack. I will nudge left, the ball will go completely in a different direction. That coupled with the half-second or more delay, when it even registers the movement at all, this is just completely something that isn't usable. This is something Arcade1UP needs to go back to the drawing board on and clean up for second generation machines. Now, although it feels marginally better on this machine, I would still say that it's not practical for use, and honestly, you're better off to just pretend it doesn't even exist on these machines at all. The reality is in the US, these machines cost $600, even though in Canada here, I'm paying about $1,000 to get this thing delivered to my door. And although there are rumors that the price is going to increase as much as 33%,
oh no.
we still haven't seen that or had any confirmation yet, so I'm going to just assume the price stays at $600. And for $600, this machine is a reasonable value. The main reason for that is because the haptics do sound good, the machine itself is stunning, but most importantly, all 10 games actually work as they are intended to, and they're really fun to play. Now, coming around full circle, I would actually say that after having owned and played all three of the Arcade1UP pinball machines, this is the one that I recommend the most and is my favorite out of the three released. I will leave more information about these machines in the description down below. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are on these machines. Which Arcade1UP pinball machine is your favorite, and tell me why. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up button before you leave. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys again real soon.